I didn't want to support you. That's what I said to my son when he offered to help me. I remember the look on his face. Not anger, not disappointment. Just silence. At 72 years old, silence had become my closest companion. I lived with it. I slept beside it. And most days, I hid inside it. My name is Eleanor. Most people call me Ellie. I am a grandmother of 4. A widow. And a woman who learned very early in life that asking for help often comes with a price. So I stopped asking. I used to wake up before the sun. Even after I no longer had a job to go to. Old habits don't leave easily. I would sit by the small window in my apartment, holding a cup of coffee that went cold far too often. From there, I could see the street slowly wake up. Cars passing. People going somewhere important. I used to be one of them. I worked most of my life. Not the kind of work people talk about proudly. The quiet kind. I cleaned houses that were bigger than my entire apartment. I worked in diners where customers never learned my name. I watched other people's children grow up while my own learned to be strong without me. When my husband died 15 years ago, the world didn't slow down for me. The bills didn't wait. The rent didn't care. So I kept moving. That's what strong women do. They keep moving. The trouble didn't come all at once. It never does. First, the hotel cut my hours. Then the diner closed. Then my knees stopped cooperating the way they used to. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself I still had time. What I didn't tell anyone was that my savings were disappearing faster than I expected. Or that sometimes I stood in the grocery store, staring at prices, deciding which meals I could afford to skip. Hunger is easier than shame. At least hunger is quiet. My son, Daniel, called often. "How are you doing, Mom?" "Fine," I said. "Do you need anything?" "No," I said. I raised him to stand on his own. I wasn't about to lean on him now that he had his own family. Daniel has 2 children. A wife. A life that already asks too much of him. I didn't want to be another weight on his shoulders. At family dinners, I smiled more than I spoke. I pushed food around my plate and said I had eaten earlier. I laughed at stories I had already heard. Karen, my daughter-in-law, watched me closely. She meant well. But concern has a way of feeling like judgment when you're already fragile. One evening, as I stood in the hallway putting on my coat, I heard her whisper, "She's getting thinner." Daniel replied softly, "She says she's fine." Karen sighed. "I don't think she is." I pretended not to hear. Pretending had become something I was very good at. The letter came on a Tuesday. Plain envelope. No return address. I knew what it was before I opened it.